Hi, I'm Cindy. We are here as Dry Run Dulcimer
We sure are.
for our 2026 Play by Ear Challenge Lesson 4.
Good grief, 4 already.
4 already. We are getting there and we are learning and we are improving and doing better every week.
After 4 lessons, we're smart. just think after this one, when we get after the next one, after we
It's
get 5.
easy for him to say because he's been doing this 40 years. We've only had 4 lessons compared to your 40 years. So, yeah, we got a ways to go, but we're getting better, Rick.
Yeah, but it didn't take me 40 years to learn how to get it under my belt to learn how to do it. That happened fairly quickly, and I can see it happening to you, and I know it is to others. I've seen some video feedback that we've gotten, some people that are brave enough to video themselves and put it out there, and that's great. We want to see more of that.
They're having success. They're making progress, and we appreciate seeing it. It's so good. It's so good. And everybody seems to be having a positive attitude, which is absolutely necessary because, you know, you got to think you can do it to do it.
That's right.
So anyway, so today's lesson is really going to be about playing and playing around with your dulcimer. And this is something that Rick has wanted to talk about, but I've kind of put him off a little bit because we're doing just little bits at a time because, like we said, we're ear playing babies and we can't handle it all at once, or at least I can't. So anyway, Rick has been wanting to talk about this, and we've had a couple comments, and I'm going to start out by reading the comments. Is that okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so we have this from Mike. I've always played by ear, but what really helped me a lot was sitting down with my dulcimer and what I call doodling. So he said it with a D, but a lot of people call it noodling. So noodle, doodle.
What's the difference?
Either one.
What difference does it make?
Right. Anyway, so he likes to doodle and just play notes, no particular song, and just paying attention to where the notes are found on the fretboard. So it's just not listening, Mike says, but seeing where these notes are. Keep at it, it'll all start to make sense. And most of all, have fun with it. Have fun, okay? So after that, we had Judy come and make comments. Judy is another follower that watches a lot of our YouTube stuff. And she said that she wanted to think of a way to make a comment about noodling around on the dulcimer as a way to improve your ear skills. But she says she doesn't need to because Mike had already done it. He had already addressed the idea. She says it's an excellent suggestion, and I think if someone is trying to learn how to play by ear, they should maybe try to incorporate some doodling or noodling into every practice session and just try to have childlike fun with your dulcimer.
Improvisation and more playing behind others and playing chords and things. Those kind of need to be in your head and your ear as far as where to put those. Noodling for me, what it's done for me, I've written some songs. I've got maybe 10 songs under my belt.
There's
Just
some nice
little
ones.
simple stuff, but kind of surprised me when the first one came out, and I thought, I better record that, and so I did, and started from there. I didn't have anybody at that time to tab it out or to put it to tab, but since then all of my songs are on tab. But that's where it all started for me. Before that, I had done some recording, some home recording. So you got some headphones you put on and a good microphone, and you can turn up a little reverb, and your dulcimer sounds great. It's all right there in your ear, so it sounds good. And I just start kind of messing around with different, not really ideas. I just start playing some. A lot of mine, I know we're not really going to move on to chords, but a lot of mine comes from listening to the chord changes and then feeling behind that. simple, but it's pretty. And those are our three chords on that D, G, A. You didn't want me to do that, did you?
You're going too far.
I just want, you know,
Really
I
back
want you
in.
to hear what I'm hearing when I'm listening to that. You know, when we do get to chords, we don't have very many to start with. We're just going to have the three chords pretty much to start with, and that's all. So just kind of playing and knowing where those goes, that's another thing that's coming up that we'll be working on as far as, I keep shaking my fist. must be serious about this.
He's really wanting to talk about this.
That's my way of improvising and coming up with new things. When I'm the whole time they're doing that, I'm listening to what I'm doing.
Okay.
We are already working with a scale. That one scale from open to fret 7 for every song that we're playing. All of the notes in every song, every part of that are just on those notes on our fretboard. So we're already working on that one scale. I just quickly am going to throw in there that there is one octave lower and there's one octave higher than that. So really just 3 octaves. You know, once you get that scale mastered and where we're at, you know, it's just learning the position of the next scale. For me, I don't use very much of that high octave. I'll use a lot of the low octave and then the medium scale that we're on now, and that's pretty much it. I'll go high a little bit, but I don't really like too much of that. It kind of simplifies it down for me. And that's a good thing. I think it all should be simple.
Well, let's talk a little bit about how you play the D scale.
The D scale. Well, we know we're playing from open to 7, and I've always called it the Do Re Mi scale.
It's the D major scale.
All right, D major scale. So, you know, and that equals, when I hear it, my simple way of thinking is Do Re Mi. Do Re Mi Fa Sol La Ti Do. Do Re Mi. So that's pretty much is the scale that we're working with. But that also could be good practice. That could be you could make a little song out of that. Mm-hmm. Just to play that up and down the scale. You could hold at the top, hold at the bottom, or you could just kind of plow on through and just continue on playing up and down the scale. But it's all about getting your fingers moving and your pick moving and everything kind of working together in the proper way.
So you get that on the melody string, and then also if you're tuned D, A, D, you get the D scale on the bass string. It's just an octave lower, like you said.
Right.
So it's the D scale, major scale on both strings.
Mm-hmm. Being said, when we move on to other strings, we've already have with the bass string there, but we're going to shorten that. We're going to start on the bass string. We're going to use the middle string for 2 of the notes, I think, 3 of the notes. So that's that same octave without going all the way up here. So this is more compact. It's easier to find your way around just with a few notes there. When I'm learning a new song, when I audiate a song, I hear it and I want, whatever instrument I'm playing, when I play the Dulcimer, I know where that scale is. That's where I start. I know which notes to play and which notes to stay away from. When you've got a 1.5 fret, you avoid that. And that throws a lot of folks when they first get a Dulcimer that has the 1.5 fret, and they say, "Oh, I can never learn to do that." But eventually you do, and you know which note not to play.
Right. So if we're in the key of D, then we're going to avoid the 1.5 fret.
Yep, for now.
Well, so I brought this dulcimer out, and this one doesn't have the 1.5. So the only one that we have to worry about is when we get up to the 6 and the 6.5 for the D scale. So we skip the 6th fret for the D scale.
Now, here's one thing. You have already used the 6th fret on the very first song.
Yeah, we
When you
have.
played Oh Joe Clark, you had to use your 6 to play that C note. That's 6. You had to have that to play the song, or it doesn't sound anything like Oh Joe Clark. So you've already started using that. But you know now on most of the other songs, all of the other songs that we've gone through, and probably the one for today, I don't even know what the one for today is going to be yet. It'll be a surprise. But you stay away from that, the 6th fret.
For the scale you do, for the major scale. Now you could use the 6th fret as what they call an accidental, but we don't want to get into all of that. So just for your scale, 6.5. Because most everybody has the 6.5. You stay away from the 1.5 and the 6th fret for doing the D scale. Yeah. So, and the D scale is a good thing. Just practice going up, practice going down. You can practice jumping around.
Just by playing the scale, I know it's boring and you want to go on and play a song, but by playing the scale, and you're kind of training your fingers and your brain and your head and your ear all at the same time to know where those notes are and where those sounds are in the scale. If you miss a note in your scale, you know right away that something's out of whack, that you may have missed a note, missed a fret. So playing up and down the scale, you're still working toward training your ear and to play by ear and to hear those notes and those pitches. If you recognize that a note is not correct, you're already kind of there.
Yeah, and this is another book that I've been reading. This is Anybody Can Play Music by Josh Turknet. And this was recommended by somebody that is doing the challenge. And so I do try to read this stuff and try to incorporate it. And one of the things, because we're talking about noodling and doodling, okay? And this guy, he talked about how he loved to go to the ice skating rink regularly. And one of the things he likes to do when he's at the ice skating rink is watch the people that's learning to skate. You have the kids learning to skate and the adults learning to skate. He says when the kids learn to skate, they put on their skates, phew, there they go. You know, they get on the ice, they tackle it with everything they have in them. The adults, they put on their skates, they put one foot on the ice, they hold on to the rail, they slowly get the other foot on the ice. They say that the adults kind of just barely move and, you know, move their feet and make it around the skating rink, holding on to the rail for pretty much, let's just say, for an hour. All right, and then they may have considered themselves successful because they may not have fallen, or if they did, they might have fallen one time or something like that. They caught themselves. Now, the kids who go at it all crazy and with full force, they fall right and left. Right, yeah. But when they fall, they learn. All right, and they say that the kids are approaching ice skating to learn, whereas the adults are approaching ice skating with the thought of not failing. Okay, and so they say at the end of an hour, who is really going to be the best ice skater and who is going to learn the most? And without fail, it's the kids. Because they don't worry about making a mistake. They don't worry about, you know, falling or failing in front of somebody else. They're learning, and every time that they fall, they get feedback, you know, and their body gives them feedback, and all of that goes through their brain, and their brain just processes it naturally, and they learn from making mistakes and the feedback.
Can you ice skate?
I've never ice skated.
Me either. Never had a pair on my feet. Now roller skates, when we went roller skating and with the church group when I was a kid, I hung onto the rail about 3 times around and I was through. I never did get off of the rail. I didn't fall too much. But
How old were you?
I just drug myself around the rail there, probably 10 or 11.
Oh, so you did it more like as an adult at that age.
I didn't, yeah, I was
Yeah.
careful. I didn't want to fall and bust my bottom.
You were mature for your age.
Maybe that's what it was.
Well, so, they say really much of our success or failure is learning anything new, whether it's ice skating or playing an instrument, and it hinges on the mindset that we approach it with. The voice that's inside our heads, the one that likes to judge everything we do, can be our ally or it can be our enemy. Those newbie kids at the skating rink, the ones falling all over themselves, have the right mindset. They instinctively know that in order to grow, they have to fail. The faster, the better. Falling to the ice is not interpreted as a personal failing, but as priceless feedback. So that's really how we need to approach the Dulcimer. And I think that ties in really well with Mike and Judy's statements about noodling around. Approach it as you were a kid. Sit down with your Dulcimer and be a child. Play this, play that. If it doesn't sound good, then learn from it and play something different.
And don't ever be afraid to let someone hear you make a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know that's what happens to a lot of us when in a jam and around people that we don't know. We don't want to hear them, let them hear us mess up.
Do it proud and do it loud and recognize
right.
It's
We're not
feedback
scared.
and you are growing from that.
We're not scared of making mistakes. That's the whole idea behind our dry run Dulcimer. It's the dry run part. That's all it is. It's plumb full of mistakes.
We make a lot of mistakes.
That's okay. That's how we're learning. That's how we pick our way through it.
That's right. So anyway, so that's really what this week's lesson is about, is to noodle around on your instrument, practice the scale, because that'll help you learn where the notes are, and then just have fun and play with it like a child would. It's a toy. You are having a good, fun, exciting time. It's not something to just sit there and be cautious about, ooh, did I mess up?
So is the noodling and the scale, does that take the place of an actual song this week?
No.
It doesn't? Well, what's our song? I've been waiting on this the whole 30 minutes.
They are getting a song assignment. Of course, a new one. This new one is called Sally Ann.
Sally Ann.
It's something we play at our Dulcimer Club. We don't play it that often.
It's all right. As soon as you said it, you didn't give me a warning this time. I didn't have any idea what it was going to be till you just said it, but immediately it started going through my head.
So good luck, and we will be talking to y'all very soon. We'll check in later this week and see how it's going. Bye.